Welcome to the second episode of Lessons in Consciousness. In this segment, we're going to look at the second major category of consciousness, known as the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is a little more complicated than the conscious aware mind since it's doing a lot more stuff. One of the main features of the subconscious mind is that it can absorb and compute large amounts of sensory information. You might think of your subconscious mind as a giant supercomputer. Well, this makes sense when you think about some of its responsibilities. For one thing, it has to maintain the function of all your body systems without you having to think about it with your conscious aware mind. Then it has to perform automatic tasks like driving your car while you change radio stations. Of course, the subconscious mind can talk to your conscious aware mind. This can be seen when you get a sudden insight, like suddenly remembering someone's name or having the solution to a problem pop into your awareness all of a sudden. Unfortunately, the subconscious mind also has a dark side. There are many psychological issues that can stem from the subconscious mind. Things like phobias or repressed emotions. The subconscious can actually cause physical ailments like headaches and muscle pain due to emotional stress. The subconscious mind is also responsible for your instinctual desires related to survival of the body and the human species in general. The big four of these would be, number one, eating. If you don't eat, you're going to die. So pretty important for your subconscious mind to tell you when you're hungry. Number two is sleeping. This is crucial for your health. Your body regenerates while you sleep, so it's crucial for your survival. So thank your subconscious mind for making you sleepy sometimes. Number three is excrete. It may not always be convenient, but excreting waste from eating and metabolic activity is obviously crucial to life. Number four is sex. This is most adults' favorite subconsciously driven instinct. Well, not only does it give humans great pleasure, but it can lead to new human beings being born, so the species survives. Now, what are some of the things that influence the subconscious mind? Well, how about conditioning? And conditioning is like Pavlov's dogs. If you're not familiar, Pavlov's dogs were conditioned to salivate when a bell was rung by feeding them and ringing a bell at the same time. Eventually, all they needed was to hear the bell ringing in order to salivate. Now, the same thing can be seen in human beings. For example, conditioning can be seen when you get some food poisoning from a certain type of food, and then later on, just the smell of that food makes you nauseous. You subconsciously associate the food with being sick. Or how about social conditioning? A good example of this can be seen concerning people who question the official government story about the 9/11 events. Over and over again in the establishment media, anyone who questioned the official story was called names like crazy and fruitcake, even though it's perfectly reasonable to question anything the government says, considering their past history. Even though normally you wouldn't feel afraid to question anything about the government, this social conditioning concerning 9/11 established a certain amount of fear of being called crazy for questioning the official story. Okay, before I get too political, here's some weird stuff about the subconscious mind. According to the Max Planck Institute for Human Cognitive and Brain Sciences, the subconscious mind knows what decision you're going to make before you're consciously aware of it. Now, the really strange thing is, this can happen up to 7 seconds before you're even cognitive of making a choice. This really messes with the idea of free will, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more research in this area. The next really weird thing about the subconscious mind is that it can predict the future. Dean Radin did some experiments where people were shown emotionally charged pictures and their galvanic skin response was measured. Participants had a statistically significant skin response before they were shown emotionally charged pictures. This was reinforced by research done by other scientists from around the world, from places like Edinburgh University and Cornell University. In fact, Professor Brian Josephson, a Nobel Prize-winning physicist from Cambridge University, says, quote, So far, the evidence seems compelling. What seems to be happening is that information is coming from the future. So if someone tells you it's not possible to predict the future, just tell them to watch this episode. Okay, I want to leave you with a technique that you can use to condition your subconscious mind in a good way. This is a classic, and you probably heard of it. It's called positive affirmations or autosuggestion. You can use positive affirmations to recondition your subconscious mind to change its belief about anything. The famous phrase by Emile Coué, "Every day in every way I'm getting better and better," exemplifies the typical positive affirmation. There are a lot of books out there and articles on this, so if you want more information, just do a word search on positive affirmation or autosuggestion. Okay, this is the end of the second episode. In the next episode, I'm going to talk about the third major aspect of consciousness that I'm going to call the collective consciousness. I'm Dr. Bruce King, and you've been watching Lessons in Consciousness.